Lock here, this goddamn thing stopped on me. I hate when it does that. But anyway, I'm moving on. But yeah, I was saying the law protects us, you know. So if you followed the law during the jabbing season, right? Then you were protected. You didn't have a blood clot. You didn't suffer a heart attack. You didn't suffer a stroke. Your immune system's not getting broken down. You know, Leviticus 19:28, it says, "Ye shall not make any cuttings in your flesh for the dead, nor print any marks upon you. I am Yahweh." See that? So if you kept that law, then you were protected during that time. So the law can protect us. It's set up to protect us, you know. Let's see, Psalm 119. And 19, it says, "I am a stranger in the earth. Hide not thy commandments from me." Right, and that's how we are in this world. We're not of this world, you know. Apostle Gabar, he just did a lesson recently, a couple days ago, maybe. It was 7 signs that. Well, maybe it was a week ago. He said 7 signs that you might be of the elect, and one of them was that you hate this world. And the reason why you hate the world is because you're a stranger to we're strangers, man. We're a stranger to this world. Everybody's, we're different than everybody. You know, we're holy, right? According to these scriptures, we're making ourselves holy, separating ourselves from these heathen, from these 2/3 from the world that that we're in. Let's get that preset real quick. In John 15, let's get that real quick. John 15:9. I'm just going to pull out precepts as I go, as they come to me, like always. It says, let's see. John 15:19, it says, I can start at 18. It says, "If the world hate you, you know that it hated me before it hated you." So Yahushua, he always reminds us, right? The world hated him before it hated us. So just always remember that. "If ye were of the world would love his own. But because ye are not of the world, but I have chosen you out of the world, therefore the world hateth you." See? So you should expect to be hated. You should expect to be, alienated, separated, different. Whatever word you want to use. We're not of this world. You know? Here, this is John 17, where Yahushua is praying for us. And anyway, he's praying for us because he knows we're like him. We're not of the world. You know? Our flesh is like a body of what did Paul call it? A body of I can't even think of it. It's like it's a prison. This body, our soul, our spirit is righteous to 1,000%. But it's our flesh. And, our spirits are the strongest spirits. If we're of the elect, if we're of the 144,000, our spirits are the strongest spirits on the planet Earth. And that's why we have so much, separation, so much friction, so much, we go against the grain by nature because we're not in agreement or in parallel to the world. We're different. All right? John 17:15, he says, actually, you know what? I'll get this, verse 9. One of my favorite verses, John 17 and 9. I pray for them. I pray not for the world, but for them which thou hast given me, for they are thine. Right, so Yahushua prayed for us. Why? Because he knows, just like him, he knows our spirits. He knows that, the elect, you're gonna be different in every situation, man. And we gotta walk with wisdom. And what's the scripture? Wise as serpents, harmless as doves. You got to use that strong spirit to your benefit, and you got to move like a wise serpent, and be harmless as a dove. And sometimes that's not easy because you get so vexed, you want to be choking motherfuckers out, or you go to Costco, it's a madhouse, and you want to just start punching MFers in the face, and I'm being extreme, but because the world is it's annoying, really. The people in this world, they're super annoying. But John 17 and 15, it says, I pray not that thou shouldest take them out of the world, but that thou shouldest keep them from the evil. They are not of the world, even as I am not of the world. See that? We're not of this world, man. We're the elect. The Lord, the ones that Yahushua is praying for right here, his men, the prophets, the ones that Yahweh gave to Yahushua, we're really not of this world, man. Literally, we're out of the world, out of this world, like they say. We're the closest thing to the, we're actually establishing the kingdom here in these fleshly bodies. The beginning of the kingdom is us standing on those street corners and establishing the truth. So we're not of the world, brothers. That's why when everything's going wrong, everything's going against you, don't let it get to you, because you have to remember this is not our rest. I had to remind myself that a few times this week. When you're at the workplace, you got to remind yourself who we are, who you are. Let's go Psalm 119. Where am I at? 20. But yeah, again, like I said in Psalm 19, we're a stranger to the earth, in this earth. If you're of the elect, you're going to be a stranger in the earth, man. Let me go to that real quick. I want to get that word. Let's see here. Tools. I think it's gar, but I want to let me go to it. There's a few. Yeah, this one is gar. We have a brother that used to be in our camp, and that's his Hebrew name, Gar. That's why I knew that one. Oh shit. So I don't know. It's not playing. It's not loud. Let me see if I can turn it up. Let me turn this up real quick. Oh yeah, it's all the way down. Let's get that word.
Strong's H1616. Guard.
Form stranger.
Just below that.
All right, let's let's go into it. Sojourner, a temporary inhabitant. Oh, I like that one. A temporary. You hear that? Another word for this word stranger or gar, it means a temporary inhabitant. Alright? A newcomer lacking inherited rights. I like that one too. Foreigners in Israel, though conceded rights. So a temporary inhabitant. Yeah, then what are we? We're temporary inhabitants of this place. Because we're going to go up. We're going to get raised up, man. We're going to go up in the chariot. And yeah, we're still going to inhabit the earth. But this body is temporary. And that's what we are. We're guards right now. We're strangers. Verse 20. My soul breaketh for the longing that it hath unto the judgments at all times. Unto thy judgments at all times. Thou hast rebuked the proud that are cursed, which do err from thy commandments. Right. Yeah, these starting out with Esau, Edom, he taught the rest of the majority of our nation to err from the commandments, and they follow him more than they follow Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, and they damn sure don't follow his servants. They don't listen to the men on the street corners. And even if they do listen, the majority of them will hear it in one ear, out the other, Let's go to 22. Remove from me reproach and contempt, for I have kept thy testimonies. Right. So take away our shame for the work that we do, for the faith that we have. We're asking Yahweh, take away our shame. Princes also did sit and speak against me, but thy servant did meditate in thy statutes. And that's a good verse to remember now that we're coming into, we're going to be coming into Jacob's trouble, where we're going to face some persecution. And, another word for prince is going to be like king or governor, ruler. These governors in these cities in Babylon, they're going to be coming up against us soon. But guess what? We're gonna rely on Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai even to do our talking. He says, I'll be thy mouth. I'll put my words in your mouth. Don't even worry about what you're going to say, as it is written. Let me see here. Thy testimonies are also my delight and my counselors. Right? Our counsel comes from the spirit and power of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. We don't go to, like, you meet people that they'll tell you, oh, well, I got a counselor. I'm talking to my therapist or my counselor or whatnot. And you're like, oh, you pay for that shit? No, the godly counsel, the best counsel that you could get is in the scriptures. But the thing is it only works for the elect. Verse 25. My soul cleaveth unto the dust, quicken thou me according to thy word. Right, and that's what for the elect, we're quickened by the word, right? The rest are just gonna stay in slumber. Their spirit won't be quickened, It's an exclusive club. Hey, the phone had a chime on that. The other phone. So let's see. Verse 27. Make me to understand the way of thy precepts, so shall I talk of thy wondrous works. Right? And that's what we do. We get this understanding and we go out there and we declare it. Right? We publish it. We let it be known. That's our job. Tomorrow I have camp. That's what I'll be doing. Lord's will. Verse 28. My soul melteth for heaviness, strengthen thou me according to thy word. Right, and you get in those times where, and usually a lot of the things I've noticed is self-inflicted, man. When we're not 100, when we're not walking in the Spirit, that's when our soul starts melting for heaviness. But as long as we're in the Spirit, you're doing the right thing. The Lord will keep you good, man. Your mind will be straight. Your body will be sound. Your mind and body will be sound. It's when you start to do those little things, and there's balance to this thing of ours. But when you do those things that you are not the best for you, I mean, it could be anything. Maybe it's spending too much time with a woman, or spending whatever, anything, too much of anything is bad for you, as they say, right? But when we're in the spirit, and we're, not always living in pleasure, things like that, hey, you ain't gonna have too many of those days where your soul's melting with heaviness. Verse 29, remove from me the way of lying, and grant me thy law graciously. I have chosen the way of truth. Thy judgments have I laid before me. I have stuck unto thy... And one of the things, one of the characteristics of the elect is we won't lie, especially when it comes to this knowledge, comes to this truth. There's no guile in our mouth, right? As it tells you in Revelation 14 and read 5. It says, and in their mouth was found no guile, for they are without fault before the throne of the Most High. Right, so we're not going to be lying, especially when it comes to this truth. You're never going to teach with deception or lies or use gimmicks. We keeps it 100 when it comes to this truth. That's the main thing right there. Keep teaching sound doctrine. Psalm 119. And where am I at? Verse 31. It says, I have stuck unto thy testimonies, O Yahweh, put me not to shame. I will run the way of thy commandments when thou shalt enlarge my heart, meaning enlarge my mind, according to this truth. Right? Teach me, O Yahweh, the way of thy statutes, and I will keep it unto the end. You see, and this is just sound advice, a sound prayer, if you will. You read this chapter, and it really doesn't even have to be broke down, really, the majority of it. It's just straightforward, and it makes perfect sense. Give me, verse 34, give me understanding, and I shall keep thy law. I shall observe it with my whole heart. Make me go in the path of thy commandments, for therein do I delight. Right, the elect, you delight in the law. It's a Sabbath, or when the Sabbath rolls around, and you're keeping it to the best of your ability, and you kind of meditate on it, and you feel good. You like, you know what? I'm doing the right thing here. You might be at work, and the heathen will order food. They'll order pizza, and they get pizza with pepperonis or whatever, and you sit that one out. These type of things, and you delight in it. Delight in keeping the Lord's law. And then you kind of just meditate to yourself, like, man, I'm doing the right thing, and Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai acknowledges it. Incline my heart unto thy testimonies, and not to covetousness. Right. You don't want to be wanting what other people have. That's a sin. Verse 37. Turn away mine eyes from beholding vanity, and quicken thou me in thy way. Establish thy word unto thy servant, who is devoted to thy fear. Right? And you know what? Let's go into that word devoted. Because the elect, that's like one of the things Elder Apostle Gabar, when he did that lesson, signs that you are of the elect. Hey, you're devoted when it comes to this knowledge, when it comes to this truth. You're devoted. Let's get this. Oh, what the hell? It doesn't even show that. What's up with that? Okay, let's see. Yeah, it don't show that one. That's weird. It's blank where it says is devoted. Moving on. Turn away my reproach, which I fear, for thy judgments are good. Right. Behold, I have longed after thy precepts. Quicken me in thy righteousness. And again, these are all characteristics of the elect. You know, you long for the precepts. You want to learn the laws. You want to learn the truth. You want to get the understanding. You want to know all the breakdowns, you know? Verse 41. If you're in this truth, this knowledge, and you don't like have a sincere desire to know the breakdowns, to know to know the law, to know these, to have knowledge, you know, the most knowledge to your ability, then what are you doing if you're just taking up space? The elect are going to have a desire to, like it says right here, behold, I have longed after thy precepts. You see, you're going to have like a sincere desire to have this knowledge, man. Let's go. I'll go a few more here before I close out. It says, Va'ah, I don't know how you say that word. Let thy mercies come also unto me, O Yahweh, even thy salvation according to thy word. And we know what the salvation is according to the word. The pagan Christians, the majority of this world, they don't know what salvation is according to the word. We know that it's during the nuclear fire. You know, we're going to be going up in them chariots, what the world ignorantly calls UFOs. So you got to know salvation according to thy word, not just, I walk around talking about you were saved in 2008. You know what I'm saying? So shall I have wherewith to answer him that reproacheth me, for I trust in the word. Right, these people will try to shame us, but guess what? We're going to always have those answers when it comes to the scriptures. That's one thing about GMS. We got the answers. You know? And you should have the answer. If you're a brother in this truth, when someone asks you about this truth, you should always have an answer ready. You should be prepared to answer. And how do you get prepared to answer? By giving diligence, by studying. Let's get that real quick. It's in 1 Peter 3:15. But sanctify Yahweh thy power in your hearts, and be ready always to give an answer to every man that asketh you a reason of the hope that is in you with meekness and fear. All right? So they ask you, why do you have this type of faith, or why do you have anything? Why are you the way you are? Why do you always have to have an answer? And guess what? If you're diligent and you're constantly doing the work, you're constantly meditating, you're on fire for this knowledge, for this truth, guess what? The Lord's going to provide those answers. He's going to put the words in your mouth. All right? Psalm 119. Didn't mean to do that one. Psalm 119 and 43. And take not the word of truth utterly out of thy mouth, for I have hoped in thy judgments. Right? You never want to. You don't want to take this truth out of your mouth. It should always be in your mouth. Well, there's balance to it, and there's also a time and place, but if you're not speaking on it, you're meditating on it, and you can't take like it tells you that in Joshua. Let's get that real quick. Joshua 1:8 says, this book of the law shall not depart out of thy mouth, but thou shalt meditate therein day and night, that thou mayest observe and to do according to all that is written therein. For then thou shalt make thy way prosperous, and then thou shalt have good success. All right? So you don't let this truth depart from our mouth. Makes me think of Psalm 51:11. Let me grab that. Cast me not away from thy presence, and take not the Holy Spirit from me. Right? You want to pray that the Lord doesn't cast you away from his presence or take his Holy Spirit from you. And the way you can, if you're fervent, if you're on fire for this knowledge, then you're not going to let that word depart from your mouth. You're going to have an answer for everything that everybody, someone inquires to you about the scriptures, you're going to have the answer ready. And again, it's Yahweh who's going to, if the Spirit's dealing with you, Yahweh's going to give you those words. He's going to give you that precept to answer with, or, whatever it is, it's going to just come out of your mouth, and you're going to utter it through the Holy Spirit. That's the beauty. That's the gift that we have. That's one of the reasons why we're a stranger, like I was reading on the, we're strangers. This is Psalm 119, 44. So shall I keep thy law continually, forever and ever, and I will walk at liberty, for I seek thy precepts. Right? The truth makes us free. That's what it tells you in John 8:32. 46. I will speak of thy testimonies also before kings, and will not be ashamed. And that time's coming where we're going to be persecuted, where we're going to have to speak, to kings and governors and judges. And guess what? Yahweh is going to put his words in our mouth. Verse 47. And I will delight myself in thy commandments, which I have loved. You're supposed to love to be obedient to Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. That's what love is being obedient to this truth, to these laws. My hands also will I lift up unto thy commandments, which I have loved, and I will meditate in thy statutes. Khan. Like I said earlier, this chapter is pretty self-explanatory. You almost don't have to break it down. It tells you really what it is. It's not super deep, But we love, if you're of the elect, you love the commandments. You love the law, We had a little bit of I don't know what you want to call it, a little disagreement, which caused a little minor split in our camp. And guess what? The brothers, we love the law. It was about keeping the law, or being saved by faith. Brothers were kind of going back and forth to the point where it caused a split. And at the end of the day, we love the law. So why would we not try to keep the law to the best of our ability when we love the law? So with that, I want to give all the praise, all the glory, all the honor unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rakak Wadash. Double honors goes out to the elder apostles of Great Millstone for teaching me the truth. Also want to acknowledge the Akyam, who are pushing the truth with sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth. And shalom to the elect of the nation of Israel. Shalom.